I'd always thought rumors had some hint of exaggeration in them, like smoke without the full fire. But with Mia, the fire was real, and it burned 6 men at once. Mia was the kind of girl people didn't just notice. They remembered. Dark hair that felt like spilled ink over her shoulders, a smile that could flip a bad day into something bearable, and a way of speaking that made you feel like you were the only one in the room. Except none of us were. I was Ryan. We'd been together for 8 months. Or at least, I thought we were together. It wasn't until a random night in February that I noticed something strange. Her phone lighting up on the table while she was in the bathroom. "Can't wait to see you tonight, Redheart." The message read, but the name wasn't mine. It was Ethan. At first, I told myself maybe Ethan was just a friend. But the gut knows when it's being lied to. I didn't tell her I'd seen it. I started digging. 2 days later, I found her tag in a private Instagram story. Her at a rooftop bar, holding hands with someone I didn't recognize. I screenshotted it. Then another clue popped up. And another. It was like pulling a single loose thread and watching the entire sweater unravel. I found out Ethan existed, yes, but so did Josh, Michael, Tyler, Sam, and Liam. 6 of us. 6 boyfriends. All thinking we were the one. I could have walked away quietly, but something in me refused to let her keep the mask on. I reached out to Ethan first, sent him the screenshots. He didn't believe me until I showed him the dates. Then I found Michael on Facebook, Tyler on LinkedIn, Sam through Instagram DMs, Liam through a mutual friend. We created a group chat called Mia's Men. At first, it was awkward. We were strangers tied together by betrayal. Then came the anger. Stories started pouring in. Ethan had taken her to Paris for New Year's. Michael had been planning to propose. Sam had just loaned her money for rent. Each confession made the room feel smaller, even though we weren't in one. Yet, the plan wasn't mine. It was Liam's. We book a hotel suite. Invite her. Tell her it's a surprise date. Which one of us does he inviting? Michael asked. Doesn't matter, I said. She'll show up. She's never turned down a fancy night out. We pooled our money, booked the nicest hotel in the city, the kind with velvet chairs in the lobby and staff who greet you like you're royalty. We decided Ethan would send the text. He'd been her favorite, or so he thought. That Friday, the 6 of us arrived early. We weren't in suits, but we looked sharp enough to pass as men meeting for business, except for the fact that none of us could keep the tension off our faces. The champagne in the room sat unopened. Nobody was in the mood to celebrate. At 8:05 p.m., the knock came. Ethan opened the door. Mia stepped in wearing a deep red dress, the kind that draws every eye in the room. She was smiling until she saw us. One by one, her gaze moved from face to face. The smile froze, then cracked. "What is this?" she asked, voice shaking just a little. "Take a seat," Liam said, pointing to the chair in the center. She didn't move. Ryan, me, pulled out my phone and played the first recording, her telling me I was the only man she could ever love. Then Michael played his, her telling him the exact same line. Then Ethan, Sam, Tyler, Liam. 6 variations of the same promise, all within the same month. Her voice broke. "You don't understand." "Understand?" Michael snapped. "That you lied to all of us? That you took money from some of us? That you let each of us think you were loyal?" You what?" I cut in. "Loved us all? Needed us all? Or just couldn't pick one meal ticket? So you kept a buffet?" She sat down then, her hands trembling in her lap. Her eyes darted around like a cornered animal, looking for someone, anyone, who might defend her. Nobody spoke. Finally, Liam pulled out an envelope and slid it across the table. Inside were printed screenshots, texts, photos, receipts. "In case you ever try to tell someone we're making this up." She looked at them but didn't touch them. Tears slid down her cheeks. "Maybe real, maybe not. We're done," Ethan said quietly. "All of us." And just like that, we walked out. 6 men who had nothing in common except the woman we had just left sitting alone in a luxury hotel suite she'd never see again. The city air was cold, but it felt cleaner than it had in months. We didn't speak much in the elevator. just the dull hum of machinery as the floors lit up one by one. Each of us was replaying her face in our heads. The split second she realized the walls had closed in. When the lobby door slid open, the doorman gave us a polite nod, like we were businessmen leaving a meeting. If only he knew. But the thing about leaving someone like Mia is you never really leave clean. The next morning, my phone lit up 22 missed calls, 15 voicemails, and a string of texts that flipped from apologies to rage to begging. Mia, Ryan, please. You don't understand. I never meant for it to happen this way. Mia, they don't care about you like I do. They'll move on. I won't. Mia, if you tell people, you'll regret it. That last one was her mistake. She thought threats would scare me. Instead, I sent a single reply. Already told them. All of them. By noon, I found out I wasn't the only one she'd tried. Ethan said she had called him crying for an hour. Michael got a video message where she was sobbing, saying she was just afraid to be alone. Sam got nothing. She must have known he'd be the coldest. And then the twist. On Sunday, Liam messaged the group chat. Liam, boys, check Instagram. Now, there she was, same deep red dress from the hotel. Sitting at a bar with another guy. Caption, fresh starts. A heart emoji. We didn't know whether to laugh or just shake our heads. Tyler typed, so she moved on in 48 hours? Ethan replied, guess we weren't special after all. It should have ended there. But Michael had an idea. He'd been sitting on something we didn't know. I have videos, he said. Not that kind. Just us together. Enough to prove she told each of us the same things. Same lies. Same promises. I'm thinking of putting it together. What? Like a documentary? Sam asked. More like a warning, Michael said, smirking. 2 weeks later, a video surfaced online. 6 men, one by one, telling their side of the story. Faces blurred, voices altered, but the story was unmistakable. A collage of text, photos, and audio clips stitched together like a crime case file. It went viral in our city in a single weekend. And Mia? She disappeared from every platform. The red dress never made another appearance. I don't know if she left town or just went underground. But sometimes when I pass that same hotel, I can still see her sitting there in that chair. Perfect hair, perfect dress. Realizing that for the first time in her life, she'd run out of men to fool. Weeks passed, and the group chat slowly went silent. Life moved on. I buried myself in work, in late-night runs, in anything that didn't remind me of her. Then one rainy Thursday night, I was at a small Italian restaurant on the edge of the city. I was halfway through my pasta when I heard that laugh. That same airy, sugar-sweet laugh that had once felt like sunlight. I turned. There she was, Mia, at a corner table. New guy, different watch on his wrist, but I knew the type. She was leaning in, touching his arm, eyes glittering in the candlelight. For a moment, I almost felt sorry for him. Then I realized he wasn't just another victim, because as I stood to leave, our eyes met. She froze, fork halfway to her mouth. The color drained from her face. But I didn't walk toward her. I walked past her table, straight to the man sitting across from her. I placed a folded envelope in front of him without saying a word. Inside were the same screenshots, photos, and recordings we'd given her in the hotel. A warning, gift-wrapped. His brow furrowed as he opened it. I stepped outside into the rain without looking back. But before I reached the corner, I heard it, the sound of a chair scraping hard against the floor. Her voice, sharp, panicked. Then his voice, cold and final. Check, please. And that was the last time I ever saw Mia.